Like, they're suing me for something I didn't do. Like, on God, it's just the most bull thing. And I literally had to pay them a lot of.
I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw, he came to my ears and whispered, "Please be easy on me." He thought I'm Mike Tyson and I will follow his script 40 seconds after I broke the clown's jaw. We are boxers, not content creators.
This is where the internet rumors really start getting loud, because people are saying the World Boxing Council might even look into Jake Paul over claims that the Paul versus Joshua fight was supposed to be scripted. And to be clear, this is still rumor talk, but it's spreading fast.
How many people can't speak? Yeah, but it's obviously scripted, isn't it? I'm like, no. One, that's illegal. I mean, this is a professional contest. Two, we would never sign up to anything that's going to make AJ look bad or devalue him, lose rounds, go loads of rounds.
Do you think there's any world in which AJ pulls back, though?
No, absolutely. He couldn't do that as a fighter. He would be incapable of going in there and holding.
Online believe Jake tried to signal moments during the fight, pointing to that tongue-out move he's done before, like a quiet, "we're still on track" sign. The problem this time, Anthony Joshua didn't play along at all. No slowing down, no waiting, no signs, just straight boxing. If there really was a script, AJ ignored it completely and went off.
The day after I woke up and told my wife, "Why did I do that?" I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on. I remember one thing. I had a very hard moment in that part of my life, but I assure you, in that age, I could have put that clown in the first round, but I sold my soul, and I'm ashamed of.
That's why people keep comparing it to Paul versus Mike Tyson, where many fans believe the whole thing felt planned, especially after what people claim was a leaked full script online. Whether any of this is true or not, the situation looks bad on the surface, because if boxing officials even think a fight was planned, that's serious trouble.
I believe that Anthony Joshua won the fight fair and square until people online started claiming that Jake Paul's fight was fixed. They started saying there was a secret backdoor agreement that Anthony Joshua would be able to beat Jake Paul in the 6th round, and that's when Jake Paul's lawyer started to get involved. Jake Paul's promoter, Nakisa Badarian, says these claims are completely false about Jake Paul's fight being fixed. He also said that their attorneys are now actively going after people that are saying that the fight was fixed. He said fixing a professional boxing match is a federal crime, and this did not happen at all. He claims that Anthony Joshua went on record before the fight saying that anything less than a knockout to him would be considered failure. People still say that Anthony Joshua waited until the 6th round to make Jake Paul look better, the fact that he didn't lose in the first round like a lot of people thought he would. And now there's a chance that people start to get sued for saying that this fight was fake. But after you leave with a broken jaw, I think it's very hard to say that this fight was.
And the wild part is this: if the fight really was meant to follow a script, Joshua ruining it is exactly why everything fell apart. One guy tried to act, the other guy just fought, and suddenly the story isn't about who won rounds. It's about whether boxing almost turned into a TV show and got stopped by reality.
Are you telling me that Netflix probably emphasized, listen guys, take this as long as you can?
Yeah. So the bottom line is you take nothing from this. It was an entertainment product designed to get Netflix
But last week you said it wasn't scripted.
I think that ultimately Anthony Joshua's approach to it was what I said at the beginning. What I said was,
now you're telling us Netflix passed on a message.
I'm saying that Netflix's modus operandi is to operate with this kind of principle, which is stretch the entertainment. Anthony Joshua goes in. I framed the question to these boys that have been in the ring. Could he go in there on an under-aroused mindset because he knows what he's dealing with? No. He goes in as a killer. He went in there with a mindset, knowing what he was dealing with, and took his time and had no reason to do anything other than get him out of there when he fell.
And right after all that scripted fight noise, tongue signal theories, and Netflix season talk, Chael Sonnen jumps in and just flips the whole conversation on its head, because Chael isn't here to argue contracts or conspiracies. He's here to talk about survival. Listening to him, I'm like, yeah, this is what it actually looked like. Chael's basically saying, forget scripts, forget betting lines, forget Twitter detectives. What we watched was Jake Paul realizing in real time that boxing at this level is not a game you control with vibes. This wasn't choreography. This was.
These guys fought. That was not a boxing match. It just wasn't. Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there, and he was moving as such. He was staying away from him. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this athletic competition, and then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. He was fighting Then it turns to where he can't stay away anymore. So now he's got to go the other way. He's got to go forward. So now he's clinched him. Now he's dropping down to his knees. He's going below the waist. He's getting to double leg positions. He was fighting.
Jake wasn't acting. He was calculating distance, escaping danger, stepping in just long enough to score, and then sprinting back out like the rent was due. And Chael's point lands hard. Anyone calling this fake has never been chased by consequences. You don't clinch, grab, drop levels, and start wrestling gravity because it's part of the show. You do that because the other guy, Anthony Joshua, can switch your lights off at any second. I love how Chael admits it's uncomfortable to watch AJ not rush, not trap him instantly, but also respects that AJ felt the moment, trusted time, and let reality do.
These guys were Jake was fighting for his survival, and you could so see it. You could see this animal who's been caged and is just trying to make it through, not even kill its prey, just make it through. And it was incredible. It was really incredible. So on the back end, some of the comments that I made or that I had heard were so confusing to me. It was a very good competition. I will tell you, it breaks my heart too that Anthony Joshua can't get him out of there in one round.
That's veteran confidence, not confusion. And when Chael says Jake was fighting for his life, it doesn't sound dramatic, it sounds accurate. No heroic music, no slow motion montage, just a guy trying to make it through against a bigger, stronger, more experienced opponent. You can argue skill level all day, but you can't fake fear, you can't fake exhaustion, and you definitely can't fake that moment where instinct takes over. Chael wraps it perfectly without even trying to be poetic. Maybe it wasn't elite boxing, but if you think that wasn't a real fight, then you've never been in.
And he even went out with style. He went down and had the sense to look over to his brother in his corner and go, wow, that guy's got good power, right? Whatever it was he mouthed, but there was every part of it was beautiful. Every part of it was like a dream, like what you would envision. It was incredible. The whole night was incredible. And any boxer that wants to say, well, that wasn't high-level boxing, go ahead. I won't argue with you. But any human that says that wasn't a fight, yeah, it was a fight.
And right after Chael Sonnen breaks it down like a man who's seen fear up close, Adam Booth slides in with that calm, surgical honesty that actually makes you lean forward. I'm listening to Booth and thinking, yeah, this is the grown-up take nobody wants to argue with. He's not hyping Jake, he's not babying AJ, he's just calling what we saw. A former Disney kid willingly stepping into deep water and learning real lessons in real time. And here's the part that hits. When Booth says Jake made Anthony Joshua miss, that's not praise by clicks, that's technical respect, because making a two-time heavyweight champ miss clean in range isn't luck, it's skill mixed with survival. In
from the 6 rounds that we saw, presuming you watched.
I was impressed with Jake Paul. I thought that, following on from what we're saying, right? A few years ago, he was on Disney as a kid, acting up, and has decided to become a professional fighter. That takes balls, but he's obviously striving to be as good as he can be. You can see that in the way that he moves, the way that he is developed in how he's punching and performing. But to make a two-time world heavyweight champion that's still live, AJ's still got something about him, to make him miss in such an accomplished manner. All right, so at times he was jumping out and running around, but there were times when he was well in range and still making AJ unable to land a clean, solid shot. He deserves a lot of respect.
Now, sure, Jake was on his bike at times, but Booth explains it perfectly. In a big ring against a bigger man, you either sprint and look silly or stay patient and let fatigue tell the story. AJ chose patience, Jake chose motion, and gravity chose the ending. I also love how Booth reminds you that the shot that broke Jake's jaw has put real heavyweights to sleep, and yet Jake Paul stayed conscious, cracked a grin, and spat blood like he just unlocked a new achievement badge. That's not acting. That's a special brand of crazy bravery. Booth doesn't pretend this suddenly makes Jake elite, but he does make one thing clear. This wasn't smoke and mirrors. This was a novice testing himself way out of his depth and surviving longer than most people expected. And when Booth casually says Tyson Fury probably watched this thinking, if Jake can make him miss, I'm not worried. That's the coldest takeaway of all. No yelling, no conspiracies, just boxing logic. Jake improved, AJ managed advantaged him, experience closed the gap, and we watched exactly how levels revealed themselves, slowly, painfully, and honestly.
Yeah, I was impressed with it when that distance closed down and AJ was in range. He still made it difficult for AJ to land a clean shot until eventually he got tired. AJ had worn him out enough and he took the clean one.
I mean, AJ's become a once-a-year fighter. I know the rumoured Tyson Fury date is September. Could he walk into the Tyson Fury fight in September, or does he need to fight in between?
Can he walk into it? They both walk into it. That fight's always been there for both of them.
No, but I mean, like, off the back of knocking Jake Paul out in 6 rounds, can you go into a Tyson Fury
It's
fight?
not just off the back of that, though. It's off the back of his entire pro career.
But that was 15 months out of the ring this morning. I mean, I suppose he could, but...
It's going to happen. It's a fight that we wanted to see a long time ago, when at least one of them had a belt, but we'll still take it.
Yeah. What do you think Tyson's thinking, watching that this morning?
Probably thinking if Jake Paul can make him miss, ain't got a prayer landed on me. It's probably what he's thinking.
And right after Adam Booth calmly explained how Jake made AJ miss without turning it into a myth, Frank Smith comes in swinging straight at the critics. And honestly, this is where the noise gets shut down. I'm listening to Frank and thinking, yeah, some of you are watching the clock instead of the fight. He makes it clear, this wasn't AJ struggling, this was AJ working. Big difference. Anthony Joshua didn't walk in trying to win fastest knockout of the year. He walked in running drills he'd been grinding for months, treating Jake like a live, unpredictable problem instead of a meme. And the part people keep skipping is this. Jake wasn't standing still waiting to be clipped. He was moving, dropping levels, grabbing legs, throwing off rhythm, basically turning the ring into an obstacle course at 4 a.m. Frank's point lands clean. You don't judge a heavyweight's ceiling based on a fight where the other guy refuses to fight like a heavyweight. That's like blaming a lion for not catching a scooter immediately. AJ stayed calm, stayed professional, stayed patient, and eventually stayed correct.
He did. Shows a lot of balls and a lot of heart. You know, AJ went in there and he delivered what he said he'd do. You know, he broke his jaw. It's a brutal game we're in. You know, and I think what you saw with AJ, like that was, the truth is it wasn't a proper fight, if that makes sense. Jake Paul was running around, laid on the sort of, jumped on his knees a few times. I think it was 12 takedown attempts or something. So it wasn't, you can't compare it to a proper fight. Yeah. But AJ went in there with the mentality of a proper fight, which probably didn't align with what it was. You know, AJ's obviously been in camp with U16, and you saw him. It wasn't like he went in there with the fact of, I'm going in there against a guy who doesn't know what he's doing. He just put everything into practice that he'd been learning over the last 14, 16, 18 weeks, or he'd been
Doesn't dodge giving Jake Paul respect either, because that's where the conversation usually breaks down. He straight up says it. No one wants to be in there getting their jaw rearranged by Anthony Joshua, and Jake kept getting up anyway. That tongue out moment everyone jokes about, Frank calls it what it really was, poking the bear with a broken fence behind you. Funny on social media, risky in real life. But when it comes to AJ critics acting like 6 rounds is a red flag, Frank shuts that door completely. This wasn't a measuring stick for Tyson Fury. This wasn't a championship chess match. This was a professional heavyweight dealing with chaos and ending it when the opening finally stayed open. And when Frank says this doesn't take away from AJ's readiness for the biggest fights, I'm with him. You don't erase a career because a guy survived longer than expected. AJ broke the jaw, closed the show, and walked out healthy. Jake proved toughness, AJ proved control, and the internet proved once again it loves arguing about how fast something should have ended instead of how it actually
did. Was went in there and stayed composed, and then, you know, was looking for those knockout shots.
Yeah, so like do you not see a concern with how long the fight went?
Not really. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can compare. I don't think you can use it to compare it to a high-level professional heavyweight fight. But that's not taking any away from what Jake Paul done. Like, respect to him for standing up. No, I wouldn't want to be in there getting my jaw broken by Anthony Joshua. You know, so, but I don't think you can use it as a bar to say, "Whoa, in the Tyson Fury fight, it's completely different worlds." You know, because you'd have a guy actually fighting you there. I mean, Jake Paul hit him.
We stack everything together: the script rumors, the tongue signal theories, the betting noise, the expert breakdowns, the calm takes, and the emotional ones. It all lands in the same place. This fight exposed the line between spectacle and reality. Jake Paul showed courage, growth, and survival instincts that deserve respect. But Anthony Joshua showed why boxing doesn't bend for narratives. You can plan moments, you can sell drama, you can stretch a storyline, but once a heavyweight decides it's time to end the scene, the script gets ripped up fast. This wasn't about rounds, odds, or viral moments anymore. It was about experience eventually catching motion, patience beating chaos, and real boxing reminding everyone that it still punches back when things get too cute.
People saying that he got hit by... I mean, you're having a... like someone's punching you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're going to get caught 1 or 2 times.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it.
Now I want to hear you. Was this a lesson learned, a warning ignored, or just another chapter in boxing's strange relationship with entertainment? Drop your thoughts in the comments, debate it, argue it, break it down. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe